Okay, happy Friday. Let's go with a quick video. This is an unbox for the EW 300 series. If you are a subscriber, go ahead and comment below. I'm going to pull a comment from below that commented here and is subscribed to my other channel and this channel, and I'm going to announce on Monday the winner for the DSP version of the EW 300. It comes with a clamshell case that is pretty standard for, I believe the EA 500 came with this as well. Inside it's got phones, it's got the standoffs for the tips, and it's also got additional nozzles, which I didn't measure, but other people will. I measured the alternates to all three of these. This is all three of these sets up on graphs, and I want to show you, actually let me take away the regular, because I don't, that's two versions of the same one. Take that out, and there we go. Now, a lot of people who have been buying Simgots for a while are familiar with these two sets, and this is the LM, and you can see that giant boost that just happened, and the EA 1000. Both highly regarded sets with good reviews, but the weak point or the con was the same for almost all reviewers and buyers as well, is that it got intense. And it got intense because that's a lot of energy at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 kilohertz. That's all harmonics and overtones pretty much, and it got on a lot of people quickly. I did a collaboration. Now this is where this comes in. I'm going to take these out. So see that area? Drop that. Actually, let's go ahead and 69.7 down to 63. We're talking 5 to 6 dB difference at 5K. That's substantial, and it's audible. I consider this a corrected Simgot, but I think they sold so many in China and in the West over the past 2 years that they're going to keep what they're doing because it works. But I think it would be smart for them to offer something like this. This was sent to me in a black plastic bag months and months and months and months ago, and nothing was said, and I listened to it and I graphed it, and it looked exactly like the collab that we never did, which was the powder-coated black, powder-coated red EA 500. And I walked away from that because they were releasing the LM in the same month that they were going to release a collab. It just didn't make sense and makes me look dumb. Or I thought it would, and then when I said it on Hi-Fi Guides, they were like, yeah, you would look dumb. So my instinct was correct. Just walk away from that. So they sent me this set, and what they did was they took my tuning that we never did, which was bass like mine, and cut out that, what is offensive for some people, energy. That's the whole point of what that was, trying to tell them that it's a whole group of people that they're losing or they're not connecting with because they got too much energy there. And then the plastic set that I opened and measured was exactly like my collab, so I reached out and said, I'm kind of confused what this is because it looks just like what we were doing before. And they said, oh, this is our new tribrid. We want to go ahead and do that project with you again, but do it with a tribrid. And I was like, oh, okay. And they said, but we'd like to do multiple versions of it. And I mean, I thought two. I thought they were going to do mine, just kind of like a legacy shout out, because that's what it's based on, was my input, and then their own version because they're the ones putting it together, etc. So I was like, that's totally cool. Looking at it from a selfish thing, you'd say, well, a lot of people who aren't in the collabs are tired of them or whatever, are just going to go with the other option. So it's taking money out of your, it doesn't, if you think like that and you speak like that to companies, they're not going to deal with you. And I'm in a headspace with my son and all that I'm not even really thinking about that. So do I care? No. The surprise, legit surprise, so this was known, and like, go for it. You've already established yourself as a powerhouse in the hobby. Don't need me. I'm glad to be on for the ride. Let's be clear about that. I don't really care about anything beyond that. The DSP was a surprise. When that came, I didn't know it even existed. Though I had suggested they get into DSP, and somebody sent me a mail like that, thank you, we'll think about that. Like, very polite blow off. And then it comes. And they're all based on the same set. So the EA 500 collab was turned into a tribrid and then branched out into several versions, which that's how this all happened. So if you happen to capture, it's on the original thread, I think, on Hi-Fi Guides, where I put up a graph and they said, what is that? And I said, that's the EA 500. the new version, and everybody's like, yeah, I want, give me some of that, because it had more bass and it had less energy there. Well, this is it in the EW300. And at the end of the day, I think the DSP is going to sell a lot more, and I personally recommended it. If you collect my sets, you're getting really the same thing with my collaboration, or you can get the silver and not participate in collabs, which I think as a company is pretty smart. My main happiness with all this is that Simgot was doing what Moondrop did about 3 years ago, and that was, this is working, let's do more of it, and did several versions of the KXXS, Kato. There's several that are essentially the same set, and even deep Moondrop fans are like, okay, I've got a couple of these already, so I think I'll pass on this. Simgot was kind of going the same way. With this, they can release a new series called the musical series, and then do origins for the original. So I think this is the beginning of a great new phase for Simgot. And I appreciate them reaching out to me both times and putting up with me, because I'm not easy to deal with. So shout out to them. And that was very clever with the DSP, because there's nothing I can do except say it's the best of the 3 sets, and I still recommend it out of the 3. It's absolutely brilliant. Before we leave, I'll just leave that as the one graph up there. Take that out. Take that out, and that's the DSP. That's a Simgot. That's dope. And like I did in the regular video, let me put up one more thing before we leave. This is one of my favorites in the hobby, period. This is the Camper. Now, I'm not comparing the quality. I'm just comparing the general tonality that's presented. Sub-bass, mid-bass, mids, upper mids. The difference is a little bit more energy in the late treble for the Simgot, but that's literally what some people said the Camper lacked. I don't think so, but that's what other people said. This is not an analog for the Camper in no way, shape, or form, but its general presentation is a mature tuning, and it's similar to other bangers in the hobby. That's it. I'm out. You guys have an awesome weekend, and I might have a video on my main channel today. I'm thinking about it. I don't script or really prepare, but good luck to the person that wins the DSP, because that'll be announced on Monday. And I'm out.